Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of Persona 3 Reload. Now, I played Persona 4 Golden back when it came out on PC, and Persona 5 when Royal was released, and I really liked both of them, so I was pretty hyped for Persona 3 Reload, and it did not disappoint. For those of you unfamiliar with the Persona games, they are a unique kind of JRPG. They're sort of half dungeon crawler and half social sim, I guess, or half visual novel, I don't know. But they always have a central theme to them that is sort of rooted in psychology. In Persona 4, it was how people hide their true self and act differently when with, different groups in their social circle. In Persona 5, it was about changing people to see the error of their ways and make them realize what was really important to them. In Persona 3, it is about death and how it affects people in a myriad of ways. With that little bit of info about the game series out of the way, let's get into the review. We'll start with the gameplay, the most important part of any game, always. So the gameplay consists of three main parts, which are socializing with various people, doing activities that improve your social skills, and delving into the dungeon. There's a time limit in the game. You only get a certain amount of days, so you have to manage your free time and split it between the stuff you can do. The three facets of the game feed into each other, so they never really feel like a waste of time. You're always kind of progressing and improving. As you improve your social links with people, you gain access to new, stronger personas to use in battle, and as you improve your social skills, you gain access to new social links. This makes it feel like you're always progressing in important ways, no matter what you choose to spend your free time doing. You delve into procedurally generated dungeons to fight enemies called shadows. The combat is traditional turn-based JRPG fare, with an emphasis on exploiting enemy weaknesses. When you hit an enemy with an attack they're weak to, they are downed, and if all enemies are down, you can execute an all-out attack, which is a powerful attack that hits all enemies. Comes with a slick animation, not as slick as it did in Persona 5, and here it's just okay. Nah. Your party members also have a gauge that fills as you fight and allows you to use powerful moves called theurgy attacks that have really cool animations to go with them. After you defeat enemies, you can sometimes collect new personas. Then you can fuse those personas to create new ones. Your stats and abilities in combat are influenced by your equipment stats and your persona stats and abilities. There are a few boss and mini-boss fights that force you to get a little more creative with your approach, as many of them have no exploitable weakness. So effectively using buffs and debuffs or inflicting status effects is the key to overcoming these challenging fights. One minor con that I have with the game, probably like the only con I have with it, is that the combat can become a little repetitive over time as you exploit weaknesses and use the all-out attack over and over. But overall, the combat is fun and looks pretty good in action. Now let's talk about the story. I'm going to keep this kind of vague to avoid spoilers. You play as a high school student who just moved to a new town. On the day of your arrival, you experience some strange things. After some stuff happens and you discover the ability to summon a persona, you are soon recruited to join a group called the Special Extracurricular Execution Squad, or SEES for short, which consists of some of your fellow students that have the ability to use personas. The group is investigating the strange stuff happening in town. And that's about all I'm going to talk about related to the plot. I also want to mention that I play the game in Japanese, which is the best way to play almost any Japanese game or watch any anime for that matter, because the character emotions and expressions match their voice, and most English dubs are just not good in comparison. It really is a completely different experience, so I recommend that you do the same. I found the voice acting to be great, at least in Japanese. As I mentioned earlier, the main theme in Persona 3 is about death and how it affects people in a myriad of ways. You even put a gun to your head and pull the trigger to summon your persona. Almost all the characters have been affected by death in some way or another, and experiencing their stories is one of the highlights of the game. There's something profoundly human about the Persona games and their themes, and that goes double for this one. They have the ability to make you contemplate their themes even when you're not playing the game. And the ending is the best one of this series for me. The Persona games have always had a great visual style, and that holds true here. The graphics aren't pushing the limit of technology or anything, but the art style carries the visuals. This extends to almost everything. The combat animations and special effects are really nice, especially for the theurgy attacks. The presentation is slick as hell too. The pause menu in a game doesn't need to look so damn cool, but it does here. There are also nice anime cutscenes that have pretty decent production value. So now, let's move on to another thing the Persona games always do well, and that is the music. There are nothing but jammers in this game. Inside and outside of combat, the music is absolutely on point at all times. It's catchy. You're gonna find yourself humming the themes outside of the game. Music is just great. Overall, the game is great. Slick and stylish graphics and visual presentation, great music and solid combat. I give Persona 3 Reload a 9 out of 10. And that's it for this review. If you enjoyed it, consider maybe leaving a like or subscribing, and let me know what you thought about the game in the comments, and I'll see you later.